I don't have hallucinations every day, thankfully. I have them like at least 3 to 4 times a week though. They're like a girl voice, a boy voice, they're angry voices like screaming and yelling at me. They're just very hard to explain. They're screaming, sometimes it's whispering, a lot of times it's helicopters, sometimes it's footsteps like running up the stairs or running around, and a lot of times I don't know what's real and what's not. And so many people have been like, what if it's the paranormal? What if you're like hearing ghosts and hearing paranormal activity? It's not that. Like I've experienced paranormal activity before and I feel like I would know the difference. So I definitely would know what the paranormal would be, and it's definitely not that. So I've experienced that before myself. I have a lot of paranormal activity stories that I've experienced before in my life, and it's not that. And then my medication does help out a lot, thankfully. So yeah, it's my antipsychotic. I'm on Haldol. The Haldol, I haven't really noticed much from the Haldol. In the beginning, I was very groggy, very tired, just like very out of it, I guess.
The FDA would never approve Haldol today, given the serious harm it can do to the brain. It's interesting how the FDA will ban a drug immediately if it causes tragic birth defects, such as thalidomide, but not if a drug is destructive to the brain tissue of a disabled adult patient.
I'm on Haldol, so that's very, very helpful. Now I'm used to it, but in the beginning of antipsychotics, you're just very out of it and very tired. So yeah, that's a big thing. But antipsychotics are strong. Haldol is a very strong antipsychotic, and I'm on a very strong dosage of it. So yeah. You gotta get used to it, and now I'm used to it, so I don't really notice side effects from it. But in the beginning of antipsychotics, you're just very out of it and very tired. So yeah, that's a big thing. But antipsychotics are strong. Haldol is a very strong antipsychotic, and I'm on a very strong dosage of it, and now I'm used to it, so I don't really notice side effects from it. But in the beginning, I was very, very tired from it. I started having my hallucinations about 3 years ago or so, and they're auditory hallucinations, so that means I hear them, and they're like outside voices. They're not my voice in my head. Everyone's always like, well, is it your voice? It's not my voice. It's outside voices. I used to be really scared of it and just terrified of it, but now I'm not as scared and not as like worried about it, and it's not as terrifying as it used to be. Now I'm on Lamictal, Haldol, Topamax, and Minipress, and Lamictal is a mood stabilizer, Topamax is a mood stabilizer, Haldol is an antipsychotic, and Minipress is for PTSD and nightmares. At nighttime though, if Brian like falls asleep before me and then I'm hearing like whispering and like stuff like that, I do get kind of scared because I don't know, I do just get freaked out because I'm like, what is that? But it's my hallucinations. So those are the medications that I'm on and what they're for. So the side effects, let's just jump on into that. And for me, the side effects for Lamictal is hair loss. It makes me kind of groggy and like numb and tired. And I honestly don't like it, but and it's funny because my doctor had me on 200 milligrams like a couple months ago, and I stopped taking it, which you should never stop taking your medications, like just stopping cold turkey. but I did. And then I recently just talked to him like a few days ago, and he was like, okay, well, we need to get you back on it. So now I'm back on it. So I'm always like to Brian, I'm like, did you hear that? I'm like, was that real or was that me? You know? And I'll be like, do you hear that helicopter? And Brian's like, there's no helicopters. So he'll tell me like, no, it's you're hallucinating. It's not a helicopter outside. And then the Topamax, side effects of that is hair loss. In the beginning, like you can't think straight. You literally can't even talk like a normal person. You can't speak. I would literally be talking gibberish, and there's a word for it. I can't remember the word, but you literally can't even have a normal conversation. I'm on Haldol, so that's very, very helpful. Nothing really helps. It's just kind of there, you know? You kind of just have to like let it ride and let it just go with the flow and just do its thing, because that's just the way it is, unfortunately. But yeah, that's just the way it is, unfortunately. But I don't know. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about a new diagnosis that my doctor just diagnosed me with. So we all know that I have psychosis, and I deal with auditory hallucinations, and I've been struggling with this for a few years now. And yeah, I've been really struggling with it the past few weeks, and I've been having command hallucinations the past few weeks. Command hallucinations, so they'll tell you what to do. So they'll either tell you to hurt yourself, self-harm, tell you to do something. Like, for example, they'll tell you to hurt yourself. They'll tell you, for example, they'll tell me to like turn on the faucet, or tell me to do stuff. So that was concerning for my doctor. And yeah, so my doctor did diagnose me with schizoaffective disorder, which I'll just read you the definition. It's a mental health condition including schizophrenia and a mood disorder symptom. It's a combination of symptoms of schizophrenia and a mood disorder such as depression or bipolar disorder.
The FDA would never approve Haldol today, given the serious harm it can do to the brain. It's interesting how the FDA will ban a drug immediately if it causes tragic birth defects, such as thalidomide, but not if a drug is destructive to the brain tissue of a disabled adult patient. Maybe we can practice doing puppet show together.
Yes, that's all I needed. I need it all.